it is officially that time of the week. It is officially that time of the month because WWE 2K26 Season 4 is just right around the corner. And so, remember in my last video when I mentioned that the closer we get to Season 4, the more 2K would get active? Well, Cornell has certainly kickstarted the rumor mill once again because this time he's given us a slight confirmation about Matt Hardy in Season 4 as well as some other possible Persona cards, including a no-brainer that people have been asking for. So after the recent early looks at the renders for Retro Lita and Jeff and even Jeff's character model, there was a lot of speculation about what Matt's model would look like. Now in theory, we can use context clues to point out that we'll get Retro Matt and Modern Matt, because why else would we get Retro Lita and Jeff and even Modern Jeff but not get a Retro and Modern Matt? And so while I was finishing up this video, 2K just actually released the first look at the Hardys. And so like I said, we obviously have a Modern Matt model and the previously mentioned leak of Jeff Hardy's model. That's the one that 2K posted. But Cornell posted 2 tweets that hint out to the possibility of a third Matt Hardy model, because he tweeted the lyrics to Matt's solo theme song, to which he even followed it up with a tweet of Matt's V1 Titantron. Now in my opinion, this can mean 2 things: the confirmation of a third Matt Hardy model and a potential third Jeff Hardy model. Because since I started making this video, 2K has once again, they finally added a clip of Matt's solo entrance, and he's using this theme song, and so I'm 75% sure we can just write this off as that was the reason why Cornell posted it. But hang on, I'm still a little bit optimistic that we could still get a third Matt Hardy persona at some point. Most likely, if we were to do it, I think it would probably be Season 5 or maybe Season 6. Now, both of the Hardy Boyz are legends and popular, but let's not pretend that Jeff isn't the most popular of the 2. Based on this fact alone, I don't see any reason why they'd give 3 versions of Matt and only 2 for Jeff. But if we don't get a third Matt Hardy model, then it's most likely that Modern Jeff will use no more words. But hypothetically speaking, let's say that we do get a third Matt Hardy model at some point. Now the leaks did state that Jeff's modern model would have both a face paint and non-face painted version, and so I'm willing to give 2K the benefit of the doubt and hope that this wouldn't count as 3 Jeff Hardy models, because it would be a huge L for them not to release an 08 Jeff Hardy persona. And if Modern Jeff Hardy doesn't have it, then it would be a great way to bring No More Words into the game's huge collection of songs. And once again, I don't know if I'm being punked, pranked, or like it just seems to be a whole episodic adventure at this point, because once again, in the middle of me making this video, 2K released Jeff Hardy's solo entrance, and guess what? He has No More Words. And then something else I do want to point out, he also has a non-face painted and a face painted version in the 2 different entrances. So the leaks were confirmed to be true. Of course, you can just go ahead and say it. This is bare minimum, this is what we expect, but I still just gotta say it. Having Jeff Hardy in the game with No More Words as his theme song, it's a huge W. Because I mean, just kind of look at it like this. It would feel wrong to have a WWE game in general, not only without Jeff Hardy, but without Jeff Hardy and without No More Words in it. Whereas, you know, it feels just right to have them both. And it's something else that feels right is 2K giving us more information, because once again, it seems to be like a whole recurring theme here. It's like an episodic episode type of adventure, because again, in the middle of me making this video, 2K has released a preview of Lita 2000, and if you somehow haven't guessed it by now, she does indeed have her It Feels Right theme song. So a few days ago they released a screenshot, and then later on they dropped a video of her entrance. Now, just like with Jeff Hardy's modern model, this retro Lita model has been the subject of heavy criticism from a few fans online. Some users are skeptical about it being a reused model, but Cornell has since come out with a tweet and he said that it's an entirely new model. But like I've said before, I'm not really the biggest expert on the models, except for, you know, times when it's just glaringly inaccurate or it looks absolutely nothing like whoever the person is supposed to be. But in this instance, I don't think the models are the same. I think there's a clear difference between them. But either way, we now have it confirmed that she's in a battle pass, but unfortunately she's not in the free tier, so if you don't have the Attitude Era or the Monday Night War editions of the game, you'll have to buy this DLC just, in order to get her. But in all seriousness though, I think this is probably the main DLC pack that most people care about, because I've seen plenty of people online say that after this DLC drops, they're, pretty much finished with 2K26. And then, so I do want to also touch on this before we move on to the next topic. 2K has also released an entrance video for Lady Shani. I'm assuming that at some point in time today or this weekend, they're going to release Jailer Road, because he's the last person they haven't shown off yet, which I'm honestly kind of shocked. I would have expected them to at least throw him in earlier as just like the first teaser, because I feel like, Lita and the Hardys and Shani, I feel like all of them arguably had much more hype, but I could be wrong. Something else I do want to briefly discuss is been confirmed, and I think it's kind of obvious, but a fan asked Cornell whether or not we'll get new moves in Season 4. He responded and confirmed that new moves are coming. Since 2K is starting to release Season 4 teasers, it's a good chance we'll see a preview of new moves sometimes this week or next week. Something I'm really hoping to hear about soon is some clarification. So at this point, you guys know that Cornell loves to tweet out cryptic stuff, and he recently put out 2 tweets that will possibly please a lot of people. And then he also tweeted something that just has me puzzled, confused, perplexed. So for a bit of context, Cornell sent out 3 tweets. His first tweet was aimed at the WWE Games account, which, this was just obviously him hinting that they were finna get ready to drop some news. But he also tweeted out questions about what's your favorite theme song and who's your favorite tag team. Now keep in mind, because at the start of Season 3, 2K26, the DLC, they dropped Matt Cardona, and a lot of people were both asking and expecting them to release a Zack Ryder themed Persona form. So Cornell tweeted out his old theme song from when he was Zack Ryder. He also tweeted out Johnny Gargano's old theme song as well. And this raises the question of whether or not we're going to get Persona cards for Zack Ryder and Johnny Gargano, or is this just him hinting that they're going to add those 2 theme songs to the game. Now personally, I would hope that it's the Personas plus the theme songs, but the one that has me puzzled is that he tweeted about the Brood's entrance. For those of you who somehow don't know, the Brood was a vampiric faction in the Attitude Era led by Gangrel. Edge and Christian, they were also a part of the group. And this is why I'm beyond confused, because neither of these men have a WWE Legends contract right now. Edge and Christian are both currently signed to AEW, and they're even the AEW Tag Team Champions. So for all intents and purposes, they technically can't use their likenesses in the game. But that then kind of leads to the question of, are they just going to add the Brood's theme song? Or maybe news will break out that Gangrel signed a Legends contract with WWE? And again, for the millionth time, there's always a possibility of Edge and Christian signing a Legends contract while still working for AEW. But given WWE and TKO's track record, I don't think they'd be interested in giving them a Legends deal while they're literally holding championships in AEW. And of course, I could always be wrong, and I would even love to be wrong in this situation, but honestly, it's just like, who knows? But something else I do want to briefly touch on is a bit of a lighter note, a bit of a happy news thing, because the gaming community has been on fire lately with the resurgence of Black Ops 1 and 2 being ported to the PS4 and the PS5. Not only are these 2 of the greatest games of all time, but Black Ops 2 was one of the last big releases during the PS3 360 era, and another game that shares that title is also experiencing a resurgence. Because ladies and gentlemen, I can proudly say WWE 2K14 is back. But there's a twist. Black Ops 1 and 2 are official ports, whereas WWE 2K14 is only being revived on PS3 by actual fans in the community. But they're also currently working on a version for the Xbox 360. It's just not available at this moment in time, and so I don't want to mess up their name, but let's just say KZ. So KZ's Project Nexus 14 is the sole reason that you're able to do this. Now, it's a revitalized version of 2K14, and it's everything from community creations to online matchmaking, and as of this moment, they currently have over 2,000 creations available to download. There's even a website where you can view uploaded creations and where you can even upload your own stuff. And then, as you see on screen, this is the stuff you have to enter, like the DNS settings, whatever. And I'm gonna say a lot of people in the community are playing it, a lot of people are talking about it, but I'm just gonna say it, WWE, TKO, 2K, if anybody is out there listening, I don't care what type of legalities, I don't know what copyright stuff you gotta handle, but please do whatever you gotta take, spend whatever amount of money you gotta spend. We need this game to be ported, remastered, just something, man. And I'm telling you, people will spend the money to pay for it. But again, I don't think they'll do it because, that is a legal nightmare to try to, regain the copyrights. Superstars you no longer have the rights to, developers, people who worked on the game, etc., etc. But overall, I do gotta say this was an eventful week. We got our previews at season 4. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Lita, Lady Shani. Like I said, at the time of me recording this, Jelly Roll is yet to make an appearance, but I'm assuming that they will unveil his model sometime this weekend, maybe even today. I think we're gonna probably see the new move soon. I'm really hoping for more clarification on the Persona cards, but overall, season 4, I think Tuesday, that's the 22nd, so we do have it coming. But if this is your first time stopping by the channel, go ahead and get that leg ready. Go ahead and tune up the band because I want you to hit that like button with the meanest, the absolute hardest hitting super kick, sweet chin music, whatever you want to call it. But then we aren't done because it's not over until the fat lady sings. So then I want you to pick up that subscribe button. I want you to run off the ropes and I want you to hit it with the hardest spear. The hardest spear that you could do. And hit it with a kadoosh. But either way, man, your boy getting ready to sign out. Take it easy.